If you feel like your spending is out of control, that you're not really sure what happened to your paycheck by the end of the month, let's talk about 5 steps that can help you rein it all in, get your spending under control so you can get back to a financial path that you just feel good about. Hey guys, it's Justine with Debt Free Millennials, the channel to help you crush your debt and live payment free. Let's go over these 5 steps to help you get it all back together. Get the pieces back together. And the first step is to write out your monthly income and expenses in the form of a budget. And I know I'm hitting you with the B word first off, but let me tell you, having things written down helps you give your money direction. It gives you the permission to spend without feeling guilty, because each and every dollar that you bring in now has a purpose. Think about it this way. If you operated like how I used to, which was just checking to see if I still had money in my checking account and then made the decision whether or not to spend that money, did you really give the money a purpose? Was it actually serving your bigger financial goals? Maybe you want to pay off all of your student loans. Maybe you have credit card debt that you want to take care of. All of that can easily be focused on and prioritized when you have a written budget. Now, don't forget, I have a brand new upgraded workbook on how to control your spending with a written budget template that you can check out. I will leave a link to that in the description box below because it's for sale and you can grab it now. Step number 2, after you get your written budget put together, is to conduct a spending audit. Now, there are 3 major reasons why you would want to do a spending audit. The first reason is you get a better picture of where your money is going. Maybe you think you only spend $100 on gas when in all reality, the spending audit is going to show you that you spend over $200. Second, you get to identify what the big culprit is. What is the one thing that you are spending money on that is taking all of your dollars and keeping you from fulfilling some of your financial goals? Plus, number 3, you get to better estimate and more accurately forecast your monthly budget. Let's say that you don't know how much you spend on groceries. Maybe you think it's $200, but after doing the spending audit, you actually find out that it's $500. Now you can budget more accurately. Instead of picking a number out of thin air, you can more accurately budget for that expense. Now, I have a whole video that talks about how to do a spending audit, and you can check that out up here. But what you'll want to do is take an average of the last 3 months of spending to see exactly how much you are spending in that particular category. After you create your budget and do a spending audit on some of your expense categories, step number 3 is to create intentional spending. So intentional spending is all of the things that you can say yes to and spending that you can actually say no to. So let's say that you actually did find out that you spend quite a bit of money per week on Starbucks. Instead of completely cutting out your coffee trips, how can you make it more intentional? Maybe you start giving yourself a spending allowance on Starbucks, or maybe you just make this as part of your Monday morning ritual. I find that when I am going out to work, whether I'm working at a co-working office or I'm headed down to a coffee shop, Starbucks, that's when I get to treat myself instead of making a special trip out there just because I want a coffee when I have all of the good stuff here at home. That's how I can make it more intentional. I'd like to know in the comments below, what are 2 things that you can be more intentional with your spending? Could it be Target runs? Could it be restaurants? Think about all the discretionary spending. Maybe it's makeup for you. Maybe you're a makeup junkie and maybe you can be more intentional about hopping into Ulta or Sephora and keeping it under control. Step number 4 is to identify wants versus needs. Now, there is truly need spending, such as the basic needs in order to live your life. You need to spend money on your mortgage or your rent. You need to spend money on food. You need to spend money on utilities. And I would say you need to spend money on internet and your cell phone. That can often get confused with want spending. Want spending are all of the other things outside of your basic living expenses. And oftentimes times I can tell myself I need to get a pair of jeans, I need to get a new outfit for this wedding, when really those are want spending habits. So inside of my workbook, I have a way that you can address your needs and your wants, but very simply, if you can just pause the video and think, okay, what are my want spending, the things that make my life more comfortable, more fun? Identify the top 3 things. More comfortable, more fun. For me, that would be HelloFresh, Amazon purchases, DoorDash. What are my need categories? What are my need spending? Rent, cell phone, electricity. Now I know what areas that need my attention first, what my dollars need to be focused on, the need spending, and then how can I make that want spending more intentional? Step number 5, this is my favorite step. If you've come this far with me on this video, then you've got the best. This is the bonus. This is where you replace your spending with contentment. Contentment comes from the things that you love that give you joy without spending money. Now, inside of my workbook, I have a whole activity worksheet that you can do, but what I want you to think about are the things that you love to do that reflect your core values. The core values are things that make you, you. What are the things that you really love to do that doesn't require any money? For me, that's being outdoors, either going to the park, going to the beach, going surfing, going hiking. I love those activities. And I need to make sure that I am incorporating those contentment activities every single week. When you start to replace that habit of spending money to reach contentment with a contentment activity that reflects your core values, you will see that your spending diminishes and that your joy increases. It's this weird thing where we think, oh, spending is just going to give me pleasure, but that pleasure is so fleeting. It's out like a firework. Whereas when you really fuel, I'm gonna get deep here. If you fuel the embers of your core values and let that contentment just rise, you're going to find so much more joy in not only your life, but your finances too, because your finances are going to reflect that. All right, so those are 5 steps in order to control your spending and get back to a place where your finances feel freaking amazing. Let me know in the comments below if you've tried these steps. Give this one a big thumbs up, and I'll catch you in the next one.